Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. I'm Robert Gardner and I'm with Kristen Lumsden. Massage by Kristen Lumsden, is that it? Correct?
Massage by Kristen.
Good. We wanted to talk about Thai massage specifically and Thai massage here in Central Texas. Kristen, I can't recall offhand, so this will make a good conversation. When did you find out about me or start taking classes with me? Like how long have we been interacting now?
I think about 6 months interacting,
That's it?
maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Tim McCoy originally introduced me to your name, saying that, you really need to do Thai. You really need to get involved with Thai. You need to go work with Robert Gardner.
Yeah.
And so I kept hearing, I'm like, all right.
Okay. Yeah. And then the first class that you took was?
Table Thai.
Table Thai. And that was at Lauderstein Conway?
Yes.
And then you took Intro Thai here in my home studio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And then what's the process been for you coming from your background, which I'm not always, exactly sure every student I work with, what their background is, what their background is previously, the sort of work that they're doing. What was like the transition to building into whatever I was doing with Thai massage?
Transition building, it was pretty quick. It was like I came in, I learned Thai. I'd been working with my clients, kind of hitting walls with the big male clients, hitting walls with low back hamstring issues. And so as soon as I started to practice and learn Thai, it was immediate. It was like, okay, well, hey guys, like I'm going to just throw this in here, and so do it. And they'd be like, oh, well, what was that? Oh, that's, something I learned at Table Thai. Would you like some more? Yeah. Well, maybe next time we can do it on the mat, And so it was pretty quick. I didn't really do much of a build up. Maybe a session of throwing a couple things here and there, but for the most part, it was pretty quick,
Okay. Yeah. Students seem to have different aptitudes for mixing and matching and blending. Because I am the big guy, I don't often think about leverage, compression, being a smaller, more petite female. So when you worked with larger clients, it just gave you more options like on a table to be able to access?
More options to access when you're on the floor because there's more area to move them around. Most tables aren't even made for big guys.
Yeah.
Their kind of arms are just really close to their bodies. Also with injuries, I was struggling with, working a whole lot at at a business or even in my own business, and my arms and hands just getting worn out from trying to give that pressure that they desire.
Yeah.
And when they're at my level, below my level still, I couldn't give my full body weight. I couldn't use everything that, all of my body to give them what they needed and wanted.
Yeah.
So it has really opened that up.
Even working on a table, like are you doing much where you're getting on the table with the clients?
Now, yes.
So you have like a table, you feel safe and secure with it. You're like hopping up. What are you doing when you get on the table?
Various things of the table Thai. I use either my mobile table. I just have to be more careful with it. But in my home studio, I do have an electric table that I feel freely. I can, hop on it, get off.
Yeah. Generally, the electric tables can hold more weight, so people seem a little bit more safe getting on and off the table itself.
Absolutely.
But as far as like compressions, you're like using your knees and their gluteals and things like that.
Yeah.
Like hopping up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then. So larger clients, you said it was hamstring and low back, like stuff you couldn't really access previously. Was there anything else that happened, like strictly for the table?
And it wasn't that I couldn't access it. It was just like a whole different way to look at things that opened the doors for me. We were doing the same kind of things. We were looking at it in different ways. But then once I started doing the Thai, it was like this whole other level that I really think opened those doors to release those low back issues, to release the hamstrings.
Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Is it more like I'm trying to find out, and it's also for the viewers at home, the people listening, is it more like mobility? Is it like, using, what I tell students is sometimes feels like I'm using the femur to like access the pelvis, the hips, the low back, but I don't have to put my hands on it. I'm actually using the femur itself to be able to move the leg around to access all of that. Is that kind of?
Absolutely. And that's where when I say next level, it's like, we're going beyond just touching directly the area that there's an issue.
Yeah.
We're moving the leg around. We're opening things up, all around it by doing just a little simple mobility.
Yeah. Most therapists I notice, it seems like they're using some level of compression. even though in Thai work we're using like bigger, larger tools for compression. The difference that I see with most therapists doing table work is they talk about the mobility. Now, I could say stretching, but I've kind of decreased that language in my work because people always think it's taking people to their extreme end range, whereas more so it was like lifting up their arm, moving it around, trying to find out where there was a movement restriction. So I tend to use mobility, but when a person is naked on a table and there's drape and cream, I can't get a grip to traction. And then when I'm moving them around, I have to be more concerned about whether they're covered or not.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more complex trying to, add the table tie in with a regular session, because you have to be really careful with doing your tie first so that the cream does not get in the way, because even trying to open the shoulder up, I can't, my initial strokes would put cream all over that area. So if I plan on doing that tie to the shoulder, I have to do that first before I put any cream, or else why do it? I can't get that pull and that control.
It manifests in some of the way that I teach table tie to therapists, and I continue to tweak it in various ways. It's really nice to hear that it did at least give you more options to be able to kind of walk people along. Was there anything you noticed about like the upper back, arms, or neck? Because we kind of talked about low back and gluteals. What about upper back, arms, neck?
Starting to do that even in the table tie class where we learned, putting them on their sideline and starting to open up the shoulder and the neck. I mean, so many clients had never experienced that. Just blown away at, oh, wow, yeah, there's something in there that's never been touched before.
Yeah.
It's that next level that I was telling you about. The clients really feel like they recognize and see how different it is to get you off that back, to get you off, and to get that shoulder moving around and, mobile. Okay.
Yeah, the side lying in particular, and it's not to say that all therapists do this, but I find that there were a large number of therapists, because I was teaching in Texas primarily. When I would go in and do just a single day table-based class, I would cover side lying the first half of the first day, to the point where therapists were going, is all this class side lying? But the challenge was they were all working prone and supine. Yeah. Most of them never worked in side lying unless they worked with a pregnant client. And side lying became the go-to when people had upper back and neck pain, which was like 70+% of the clients that I saw working at a chiropractor's office. They all seemed to have problems with that. And what happened was, when I put them on their side, from that moment, the clients immediately went, this guy does something different. Like everybody else puts me down like face first, or, or face up, however, depending on how they start. It started to change the interaction with the client. And in addition, having clothes on for me as a male therapist was an advantage, because if I was working on a female client, it meant that issues of intimacy were sort of dampened initially. To get the client to work with me and trust me, having a clothes on option was a lot like doing chair massage. Like, you could do it publicly, it had certain advantages, but I was really happy to find out that you picked up the work quickly and were able to adapt it to be able to get clients. Has it changed anything about like your rebooking rate or like people getting additional sessions?
Yeah, absolutely. In some clients I do go back and forth table to tie or table to mat work. But I feel the same way as a female working on male clients and trying to do the draping and do tie. Yeah. It can be a bit of a challenge. I make it happen, but it's so much easier to just not have to fumble with it, to have the clothes on. I can get much more range of motion, not having to worry about any sort of exposure or being uncomfortable.
Yeah. And especially, I guess, with like first-time clients. After you've developed a rapport with clients, it's not an issue. But when it's new clients who really don't have parameters, they're not sure what's going on.
Yeah, but as far as the rebooking, I did a client recently where we did a 2-hour tie session, and then we rebooked the next week for a 90-minute or a 60-minute table session. Yeah. So I definitely think it's increased my booking, and a lot of clients are really excited about the work.
Yeah. It gives them, I guess, more variety. If you're liking, toggling back and forth between table and mat, giving them some alternative options. Do you notice, because I have my own finger on the pulse of Austin in a different way from my perspective, are there more therapists picking up the work and using it? Like, what's the kind of buzz you hear with other massage therapists? Are their responses?
A lot of people are interested, but I think they're just hesitant to pull the trigger. Yeah. And I don't know why. It's a great it's a great style of work to do. It's been really great for me on my hands and arms. And I think that the more that they hear that, the quicker they will be to start getting involved.
Yeah.
You know.
What is it? But you said they're hesitant. What have you heard from people? Like, you don't have to name names. But.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, that sounds great. But, they're just, I don't really know what's holding them back, but everyone seems interested. They see, the videos that we're putting out, and they see the work, and they hear what we're saying about how it's being received by the client and with the success that they're having in their lives. I'm not really sure where the hesitation's coming from. Maybe because it is not, it's not a very well-known modality at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
we're getting there.
For us, I live inside it, and I have for so long that it's hard for me to have a vantage point of just getting out of school, because that was 16 years ago. So I think for me, many therapists that I've run into over the years, and this isn't to say it's Austin right now, but I would hear, this isn't really massage. Massage is done on a table. This is more like yoga or whatever. I think those categorizations miss the point, and I feel like people have to have the work to understand. And one of the reasons I chose eventually to rebrand was the fact that I kept getting massage therapists who came in. They would get a session with me and say, "This is not Thai massage." They're like, "Dude, this is totally amazing, but this is not." And I'd go, "Oh, okay, hold on. What did you have before that was Thai that mine isn't?" And they're like, "Listen, the Thai massage I had before, they all did a sequence. You just worked on me." And I was like, "Oh, no. Like, the sequences are just to get people started. The sequence that I taught you in intro Thai isn't what I want you to keep doing again and again and again." Absolutely. It's just a starting point of learning how to use your legs and feet, mobilizing the person. Once you understand some of the basics, you're just taking, say, a hip joint through a range of motion, finding where it feels stuck, and then saying, "Okay, let me tabulate through my filters here, where, okay, that's serratus, okay, that's, well, not the hip, but, that's the hip flexors, that's the psoas, okay, that's the hamstrings. Yeah, I think they're having some hamstring tightness," and then working on it. That's what I'm really doing. People's conception of Thai massage is often that it's a bunch of sequences. And I think that is in a case true, but it's kind of like saying massage is only the effleurage, the Swedish sequence you learned in school. Like, it doesn't really go to the real depth of, what the work has to offer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Was there anything else you noticed, like maybe from clients in regards to offering the work? Like, did you add it to your menu of services?
I'm in the process of getting it on my website.
Okay.
That's just because I'm not the IT guy.
Yeah.
So once I get connected with him, it's going to be on my website at the top.
Oh, okay.
I would like to make it my primary modality.
Yeah.
Along with the other ones still offered for now.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't turn away, clients, especially when you're still building.
Yeah.
But it also gives you the option of figuring out where you want to go. The fact that it helps save your hands is, like, for me as an educator, is like, yay, we win. The fact that you're able to make more money with it is like another yay, we win. The clients are rebooking, they like it. Do you find you're getting more referrals or anything? Like, is that shifted?
I haven't quite gotten to that where they're like telling their friends about the Thai. I think right now they are speaking about it, but I think it's so new that I haven't quite gotten the backlash of the talking.
Yeah.
I think it's coming.
Yeah.
But it really, as far as on my life, it's changed it, because just being able to not be in pain.
Yeah.
Being able to book another session because my arms don't hurt, because I'm using my knee, I'm using my feet. It's great.
Did you notice, like, were you doing a certain number of day, like 5, and now you're doing 6, or how does that work?
I mean, every day is different for me with my practice.
But you just found that your longevity was better.
Longevity is definitely better.
Okay.
Yeah,
you weren't hurting yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's one of the ethical points for me. Like, I would actually get angry. There was a sort of righteous indignation about therapists coming in saying that their hands hurt, and I would actually start to get angry at educators or schools or whatever, because I'm like, what are they teaching? And then you realize the school owners are teaching the 500-hour curriculum that they have to teach because it's mandated by law. They don't really have enough class time to be able to go into a lot of additional work, which is where I come in as continuing education. But I guess what it is from a heart level, I felt like a strong resonance with trying to help therapists as much as possible. And a lot of that came from a certain level of, like, authenticity, ethics, integrity from my practice of actually wanting to help the therapist build. But it just felt, it felt dark to me to be in a situation where we're going to help people and hurt ourselves. Like that was not like, okay, there's got to be a better way. It shouldn't be that I'm helping people and hurting my own body in the process.
Yeah. I think that comes with, because in school they do tell you, they teach you the different ways to not overuse the fingers, to reinforce the fingers, to not let your joints fall. But the problem is that after school, in that period where you're not getting your continuing education quite yet, or, in your little lapse periods of just doing what you do, you try to be good, you try to be the best therapist, and you try to get creative. And, I can even admit that at some point I'd be like, I know this isn't the best for my finger, but I can only think about how amazing it feels for the client. So I was putting the client first before my own body, which wasn't good, and then I was taking some continuing education classes, but it was all the same kind of thing. It was like a muscle specific here. I hadn't tried a modality to get me off of my hands and to open my eyes to all the other tools our bodies possess.
Yeah.
It's
a very different art form. The table work is amazing, but specifically when you get to mat and you get a sense of using your legs and feet in a different physical space, it completely changes all of the physics. And I can't explain that enough to therapists. It's not the same, but it's a little bit like doing terrestrial work and then doing aquatic therapies like Watsu.
Yeah.
Like the water is not the same thing.
No.
Like, can you compress in water?
No.
Because they're going to move, but
Absolutely.
You get all this crazy movement and mobilization and snaking and unwinding that you can't get on a table in the exact same way. But it's not necessarily an either or situation. It's just trying to get massage therapists to understand that there is a lot of room for what I call niche bodywork experiences. Massage therapists were the ones who said, yo, this isn't Thai. And I'm like, okay, we need to rebrand. I rebrand and they go, dude, what the hell is this? Like, this is 3 hours long. There's some crazy suspension system. You're doing abdominal work. I don't understand. Like, do clients pay for a 3-hour session? And I say, yes. But at that point, you were in a unique spot because selling a reboot is what I have as a branded name right now is not a massage. And it means that the clients can't go get it anywhere. It's not available. It's something you have to build and promote. But once you do, it's like you doing Thai massage. Where can the clients go get it?
Not a lot of places.
There's some, but that's the thing. It niches you down into this specialty area. And if you like working on, athletes, larger clients, chronic pain, that tends to be more my bread and butter is the pain relief portion. Do you find that you're working on more athletes or?
Yeah. I mean, everyone you just listed, those are who I work on.
Yeah.
Everyone has pain. They're athletes. I play soccer, I do snowboarding. So my teammates, I'm just in that field, all the time. So that is my clientele, and so this is really, as I was learning it, my mind was just blowing up with, oh man, this would be so great for this person. Oh, this person. Yeah. And these are people that I've never even worked on. I'm just like, oh man, this would just be amazing for them,
Yeah, athletes,
hip opening. I mean, the thing is with Thai, the hip opening is something amazing because in a normal massage and deep tissue Swedish, hip opening, we don't really do hip opening. I would do some stretches, previous to learning Thai. But I mean, hip opening, like that was something that we didn't do because you can't really do that gracefully.
Well, because you have to mobilize the person, and it's not that it can't be done. Like I have a tendency, I was in gymnastics in high school, and a lot of my first dealings with my body came from being so inordinately sore in gymnastics as like a 15-year-old that massage was something that naturally kind of flowed in my classes. It was very common. We'd be so sore. You'd have a teammate like, can you come like press on me? Or like, we didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that your muscles were so sore from the parallel bars or whatever you've been doing. When I got to massage school years later, it made more sense. It was like Swedish gymnastics. They were using these sort of like strength building exercises. You get sore. And then a lot of what they were doing, in my experience, based on what I saw in gymnastics, was a lot more deep pressure and mobilization. They weren't just keeping the body prone or supine. They were actually mobilizing the person. But it also came, I think, from a little bit more of like a Northern European sauna culture where people were naked. People were more comfortable with nudity. It was a slightly different like cultural context than dealing with massage all over the United States. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Is there anything else about like the practice that you've got now or anything that you want to discuss?
Well, the practice that I have now, it's a really exciting time. To me, it's exciting because I'm getting to transition and expose clients to this whole new world.
Yeah.
One of the first people I worked on, he said, it was crazy. It was 2 weeks. I had no pain. 2 weeks. And I was like, can you imagine if we got you on a regular schedule, what would happen?
Yeah.
If we got you on a regular schedule doing some Thai, what could be your life? It could change.
Yeah.
And so right now we're like that turning point where the eyes are opening and things are changing. So it's really exciting.
Good.
I'll tell you that.
As far as I'm trying to think of, like long-term future plans, you work for yourself.
Yes.
You're building more of a private practice. You get a chance to kind of choose what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Is there some point where you're going to move to Colorado maybe?
No.
No? Because I think you'd kind of discussed that at one point.
Yeah, but the rent is just so high there.
It's what it is.
It's the rent's high, the food's bad, so you can't get any good.
The rent high is the food bad.
There's no Mexican food
So if you're in
there.
Colorado, don't hate on me. I didn't say it. I've only been to Denver a couple times.
The rent is high.
So as far as Austin is concerned, like you're more in South Austin?
North Austin.
North Austin?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how would people contact you or reach you if they needed to?
They would get my website, www.massagebykristen.
Massagebykristen.com.
It has all my contact info in there.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that comes up for me or anything you want to discuss about Thai massage specifically, anything that's, changed for you.
I'm excited. I know about the Thai Jam and I haven't yet been able to make it out to that yet. But the community sense of it, and you were talking about how working it in public.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends that I go do trades with, like at Zilk or Festival Beach, and I think it's really fun that we're able to take Thai massage out of the studio and take it out into nature and in the open and show people and do it together. I'm excited to come by the Thai Jam and check that out.
Yeah.
And just
the Thai Massage Jam has a very, in our case in Austin, like informal feel. We get on average 8 to 10 people. Everybody knows everybody except for the occasional new folks who come in, and we wind up just working with each other in a public space. Instead of having to organize a trade with someone, you actually just show up to the event and you just trade little bits and pieces as you can. Some therapists would ask me about it and say, man, I worked all day. I don't want to come in and work. And I'd say, listen, you can come into the jam, look at 5 people and say, listen, I want each of you to work on me for 30 minutes. And they can literally just pass you around and work on you. And they're like, you can do that? And I'm like, yeah, if you did it every week, people would get annoyed because you're not trading. But if you do it one night because you're tired, people understand, you did 6-7 hours that day. You're not in a mood to give anymore.
Yeah.
But the jam has been a wonderful manifestation. I'm happy to see that other people are doing Thai massage in public spaces, because the more people see it, which is why I'm so heavy on video and photo production, it means that you're able to show people what you do. Like, have you gotten clients from the videos that I've seen?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like new people?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually recently it was just a random thing. I was trading with one of my colleagues, Alex Mata, and I was like, I'm just going to tape this whole thing and, I don't know, just throw something together. And it was, by the time we finished, it was late. And so I just threw together something on iMovie, a little trailer, an action trailer. And I thought it was super fun and hilarious. And a couple people were like, wow, I haven't gotten work by you before, but, let's do this. I was like, all right, let's schedule it.
And that's what I keep telling students, like if they'll just put a little bit of time and energy into video production specifically. I think that one of the ways that Thai massage wins is because it's clothes on. Yeah. You can film things, you can photograph things, and that's a big deal for Facebook, Instagram, or the social media. Well, listen, thank you for talking with me. Again, it's massagebykristen.com that they can reach you at. Absolutely. And you can always find me at robertgardnerwellness.com. There's a free Thai massage workbook on my website. Thank you so much for coming, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.